Okay, guys, so we have a special channel point redemption from Breezy. This is gonna be cool. It's a teach you how to play one of my songs. So this is only the second time that it's been used so far. It's a pretty new channel point thing. So I'm gonna go through the notes and then I'll show you how I do the loop too. So the chords on this are basically E minor, G, and A, G5, A5. Which G5 and A5, that's basically a power chord. You hit the G string on the top and then one string down and two over. This note here, so you got this note and this note, and you only strum the top two. And then you go up two to the A and do the same thing. So now when you get to the A, you bend it. So it's like kind of pull down while you're holding the chord, mainly with your index finger, and give it a couple wiggles, and then go back down. Now between strums, I'm muting with this hand. So it's like I kind of tap, cover the strings so they stop ringing. Do it there, a couple strums, and then mute it again. So you kind of get a kind of a choppy. Now that's the that's the main part. When we get to the chorus, it's the same type of chord, but it's down a string. So you're going to be on the 5th string for a C chord. These two notes here, this one and this one. So that's a C. I could see that you had, and up 2 again. Blue blood to the D. So this is C5 and D5. Which 5 chords are basically what you're doing is the root is the note that usually is the name of the chord, and then the 5, it's called a 5 because that's like the 5th of the chord. So I could see that you had blue blood when I cut you open to operate. And these ones I let ring out a little more. You're also gonna have to, with your pointer finger, mute the top string. So you don't want that one to ring out while you're strumming down. So just slightly touch it so that it doesn't ring. See that you had blue blood. Now the turnaround to the A, when I cut you up, to put you to the G on my plate, and then it goes back to the beginning. And this will be posted, so you can kind of go through that a little more thoroughly if you want to rewatch it afterwards. Now how I do the loop. Thanks, Spartan. Make sure I have it deleted here. So the first thing I do to start the loop is just a little like rhythm, about the right speed that I want to go, right? So I'm just kind of playing the same rhythm that I'm going to play on the guitar. Now make sure that kind of lines up neatly at the end. Yeah, so then I got to do a little kick drum here. I'm pounding on the guitar here. Now sometimes we add a little shaker. Shaker's kind of fun on looping because it kind of takes the place of like cymbals in a drum set, but it kind of gives the same effect. This is kind of a basic song though. So now when I set up the loop, I got to do the backing vocals before they actually happen. So I got another track over here I'm going to use, and I'm going to say the backing vocals get my note. Weatherman's dead. So I got a couple harmonies here. So the first one is this. Weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's so I've got that one. No now I can add a harmony over it. Weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's when I do it on this song, I try to make my voice sound a little crackly. Weatherman's dead, no rain today. Those are a little louder than usual, but that's okay. I can turn it down on my pedal if I want. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. I think I just turned it up actually. Dead, no rain today. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. So now I'm ready to start the song, right? So when it comes time, I'll turn the backing vocals off until they need to come back on. Don't follow me unless you know where I am going. Don't swallow me unless you drift the way I am flowing. Don't censor me unless you know what I am saying. Don't look at me if you don't like what I'm displaying. I could see that you had blue blood when I cut you open to operate. I could see that you had blue blood to the A when I cut you up to the G, put you on my plate. Now we gotta start the backing vocal here. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. The weatherman's dead, he was slain today. The weatherman's dead, don't complain today. The weatherman's head's on a cane today. But you can see him go insane today. Smiling forever, no pain today. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. They smashed him under a train today. Don't lie to me when you see what's real. Don't cry to me when they tell you to kneel. Don't say hi to me and ask me how I feel. You'll die for me if I need a good meal. Now we go back to the C again. I could see that you had blue blood to the DC when I cut you open to operate. I could see that you had blue blood to the A when I cut you up to put you on my plate. The weatherman's dead, no rain today. 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 So on the end there, I only play the one note. That's why it sounds a little different. I just strum only the E open, G, and then I go to the A and go bend it again. Yeah, so that's fun. That's a fun song. And that's a good one to start with if you're learning guitar, if you're kind of new to guitar. If you can play power chords, it's pretty easy. Except for the muting part. That's something that it took me a few years to understand how palm muting and stuff works. And it makes a huge difference in how clean your playing can sound. So that's something to work on. All this, just work on making, not even playing a chord if you want. You can just have your guitar just cover all the strings and just practice. Or don't cover the strings so you know that you're really doing it. you know, because it's easy to do it like this. But if you're making a chord, you can't cover the strings because then they won't ring out. So even try it one-handed and just practice like muting in between your strums and then letting it ring out like strategically. It's a lot easier than, you know, when you first start playing guitar, sometimes you kind of are just sort of inclined to just be like, let it ring the whole time. So it'd sound more like. So it's, I mean, it gives it some more definition if you can go and kind of cut off the notes in between. So anyway, thank you for that redemption to Breezy, and thank you General and Write Your Dream Before Die and Madame da Funk and Baris Kansavas for the follows. Welcome, I'm Mandy Prater.